I'm a demon, I'm a psycho, for no reason. I'm a mover, I'm a teaser. I don't follow, I'm the leader. Let me hype you up. Let me hype you up. I'ma let you get so hooked. I'ma leave you shook. Come on, surrender to the blinding light. No one's gonna sleep tonight. Welcome to the riot. I'm the bangaranga, bangaranga, bangaranga. I'm the bangaranga, 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 bangaranga. I'm the bangaranga. Blinding light. Welcome to the riot. I'm the bangaranga. I'm the bangarang. I'm the bangarang. Close to the edge, I can feel it inside. Bodies and sparks about to fly. I'm about to lose my mind. I'm the bangarang, bangaranga, bangaranga, bangaranga. I'm the bangarang, bangaranga, bangaranga, bangaranga. I'm the bangarang. Blinding lights. Welcome to the riot. I'm a rebel. I'm a danger. I'm a mover for freedom. Let me light you up. Let me light you up. Come on, let me put it in so deep. I'ma leave you weak. I'm the bangara. I'm the bangarang. I'm the bangarang.
I'm standing here on the ground. The sky above won't fall down.
Shiny. So to help me do it, I was wondering
In all directions. Resolution of happiness. Things have been done for too long. Don't change for you. Don't change a thing for me. Don't change for you. Don't change a thing for me. I found a love I had lost. It was gone for too long. There's no evil in all directions. Execution of bitterness. Message received loud and clear. Don't change for you. Don't change a thing for me. Don't change for you. Don't change a thing for me. I'm standing here on the ground.
money in the review. You're closer than you are.
Hello,
In truth, we're worlds apart.
my name is Diana Zidane.
Used
Nice to
be
meet you.
near you. When I'm down to 10%, and you plug me straight back in. Now there's no one to text when the plane lands, or to call when it's taking off.
Hello, hello.
Right there, baby steps. I'll be more her safe hands. It's not the end, it's the making of. Right there, for now I'm taking but baby steps. But baby steps. But baby steps. But baby steps. Just learning how to balance. If I'm out on Friday night, it'll be me turning off the lights when I come home and all managed. There'll be roses on the shelf, 'cause this house gon' love itself. Yeah, this house gon' love itself. I'm taking but baby steps. But baby steps. But baby steps. But baby steps. I won't fall back if I fall once. At least I have that. At least I have that. I'm taking but baby steps. But baby steps. But baby steps. But baby steps. But baby
Okay. All right. Tangerlini. I'm familiar. I thought it was wrong.
You keep on saying there's nothing up, but I know that there will be fireworks, there will be lightning, no silver lining, then there's thunder.
I know. Well, there was.
I'm gonna take this shit no more. I'm gonna try to find a way to solve the fighting.
Oh well.
No more thunder. Stop the rain from pouring over my body. No more running on and on and on. Oh, going nowhere. I'm just dancing and I'm feeling like my heart has stopped beating, and the clouds are slowly clearing from the thunder, from the thunder. I never wanted to let you go, but baby, I know. One day you will see that that's the best for me. I know. Hold up the storm coming up. I'll stay true to myself no matter what. One day you will see that that's the best for me. I know. Yeah, I know. Stop the rain from pouring over my body. No more
sky is your brain. Calling the shots, making it hot, and then it's cold again. But I ain't staying no more. I found an open door. No more tears cutting my face. I'm out of this place.
I'm just done feeling and I'm feeling like my heart has stopped beating and the clouds are slowly clearing. I'm just done feeling and I'm feeling like my heart has stopped beating and the clouds are slowly
Yeah. And you want to catch talks, but at the same time you don't want to get out of bed.
Never tear us apart, tear us apart.
Get out of bed, and that people are okay sleeping through it. You're done.
We could live for 1,000 years if I hurt you.
Then I'll head out on Sunday again.
I make wine from your tears. I told you
I'll make up for it, yeah.
that we could fly, 'cause we all have wings.
Because,
But some of us don't know why.
Testing.
I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never, ever tear us apart.
Yay, keep coming in.
Come alive, surrender to the blinding light. No one's gonna sleep tonight. Welcome to the riot. Come alive, surrender to the
Good.
blinding light.
Hello.
No one's
Now it's
gonna
working.
sleep
Good morning, Bansko.
tonight. Welcome to
Little bit empty again. Everyone was out on the beer, I guess. Okay. How's everyone feeling? We all wide awake? Fresh as a daisy, ready to go? Okay, cool. My name's James. I'm going to be your MC today. Becky is having a well-deserved day off after being your MC for the last 3 days and doing the karaoke last night. She'll be back again tomorrow. Quick introduction. I'm originally from the UK, from a place just outside Birmingham. Anyone been to Birmingham? Lovely place. The Venice of the North. Why wasn't Jesus born in Birmingham? Because they couldn't find 3 wise men and a virgin. I'm going to teach you a little bit of Birmingham dialect. So learning English in Birmingham is really, really easy. So we say, I am, you am, we am, they am. It's easy. And then instead of saying, how are you, we say, how am ya? Instead of saying, how have you been, we say, how been ya? So if I say, how am ya? What's the answer? No, that's how have you been. If I say, how am ya? The Birmingham answer, which the word for excellent is Boston. Boston. So, how am ya? I'm Boston. There you go. So, our first speaker is Tabitha Tangalini. And Tabitha wrote the Remote Work Handbook after interviewing more than 70 people who have actually made location-independent work. She's based in Berlin, and she spent years cutting through the AI noise to find out what genuinely saves you time when you're running a business solo. So her session this morning is all about practical systems and not theory. Fun fact about Tabitha is that whenever she goes to visit a new city, the first thing that she does is to go to the market to check out what spices they have. We were just talking about Istanbul in the interlude and why that's probably the best place for that. So please give a very warm Bansko welcome for Tabitha Tangalini.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Like I said, my name is Tabitha Tangerlini, and since it's 9:30 in the a.m., my brain does a thing of, ooh, shiny. And so to keep you awake and me here, we're gonna do a little bit of interaction. So first, who here is building something by themselves without employees? Very nice. And if you're building with employees, it's still for you. Now, usually that means you're gonna be juggling several things at once. Your product, your service, marketing. Can someone yell out anything else? Sales, everything else that you're going through. And so you start off the journey really excited. I'm working on this, I'm building this, I have freedom. And then as it goes on, as you continue to juggle, you sit there in the middle of your place going, because everything else that you've been working on is kind of taking the place of what you actually enjoy doing, why you actually started this. So today we're going to talk about this and figure out how we can give us some space and some room. So first, it starts off with an audit, not like taxes. We want to see where your time, your energy, and where your attention is going on that. Because the thing is, auditing and documentation are the two most important things I mentioned today. It's how you're going to build automations, it's how you work with people, it's how to know what you're doing, it's how to know what's broken, it's know how to know what's working. So from that, you're going to start off with your motivation. Why are you doing this? Let's say you say freedom and flexibility. Okay, and let's say 4 hours a week working so I can be in a hammock and someone gives me fruit. But that is going to be very different from someone that says, I want to be a multimillionaire. So you want to start off with, why are you doing this? What will those processes look like? From there, you're going to track everything. Voice notes, writing it down, putting in a spreadsheet, calendar, however you do it. Track at least 1 week. If you have a very diverse schedule, 2 weeks. Write everything down, everything that you have. And then from there, you're going to categorize it. Does this take a lot of skill? Does this not take as much skill? Does this take a lot of effort? Not so much effort. Is this a repetitive task? Is this an admin task? You're going to put all through that together. And then from there, you're going to document it, which basically means you're going to write the steps. We will come back to that point. So once you have all that written down, you're going to figure out what actually gives you energy and what drains you. So you're finding out your strengths and your weaknesses, and you want to be brutally honest. Because this is just for you. This is how everything else is going to build on. And the areas that you want to be brutally honest with is one, the time thieves. Where does your time go? And a big one for me is, what do you procrastinate on because you dread doing that task? That takes time, cleaning your whole room instead of doing a task. From there, you're going to look at your revenue, your last 6 to 12 months. Where are you making money? What are your best projects? What projects take a lot of time and not much money? Where do you actually need to pull up prices? From that, you actually then need to double check to figure out what is happening with my clients. Are they coming back? Am I using a lot of effort to bring in new clients? Look at the whole process for them and interview maybe 2 to 3 of your customers to find out what is really happening. Once you have that, you're actually going to build your system. Now, many people think AI is the foundation. It's not. Your processes are your foundation. So this is what you're going to build, this is what you're going to work on, but that is actually your foundation. So how do you build a process? We're going to use the tower method. So you write this down, look at all your actions. What's the trigger? What action starts off this process? Does a client contact you? Does someone download something? What is the start? Next, who should take care of this? Who owns this? After that, what are the steps? You want to number them and be very specific, because this is how you work with anyone else. This is how you work with AI. Be very specific. From there, what does the end result look like? What does it mean when you're done? What does it mean if it's a success? From there, what are your resources? Do you need tools? Do you need platforms? What do you need on that? So you're going through all your tasks. Things that you love to do needs a lot of your skills. You do them. They're repetitive, automate it. If they're admin, delegate it. If they require lower amount of skills or a lot of time, delegate it. If they require a lot of time and a lot of effort, throw it out. And along with that, AI, see where it fits. Because the thing is, AI should not be used for everything. We'll go more into that in a moment. So actually, one more other point. You do not want to actually automate relationships. So, you've done this, you've put the work in, everything is set up. From there, you want to actually review it. You want to review it weekly, monthly, and yearly. What is not working? Stop it. What is actually you think could be a better option? Start doing that. What's working? Keep doing that. This is going to help you to run your business better and better. So, we talked about you shouldn't do everything by yourself. So this is the important things that come in mind here. So you've done your audit, you've gone through your skills, now you know what you're doing, you know where you need help, and you know how to train someone else. One of my favorites is actually having a virtual assistant. You might not be able to hire a full-time or part-time employee. You're taking care of yourself, you're making sure everything's happening, but you can hire a virtual assistant for 10 hours or 20 hours a month, depending on flexibility, usually. I had one that was based out of Kenya, and she was fabulous. She also ran her own business, also took care of my stuff. But you want to be clear in communication, let them know what they're doing, what they should focus on, how they should do it. You also want to put in the guardrails, let them know your expectations. Also, what is your business? You really want to do the onboarding of them. Give them time to learn. Give them time to learn your processes. This goes for people, this goes for AI. You're giving time to onboard on that. Another very important thing is to actually know your rate. How much does it cost you to do a task? It could be something simple like, oh, I can do, it takes you time, your price is up here, it's costing you hundreds of euros to do that one task. I know for me, taxes. I don't know if anyone knows German taxes, Elster, terrible. Changes all the time, it's a nightmare. I would spend hours going through this trying to figure out, and it would change. I finally hired someone just to fill in the forms. That's it. You know what? It saved me money because she knew all the tricks to actually bring more money back. Also, I had my time to work on a new project. She did it in 30 minutes, and it saved me weeks of mental frustration from doing that one thing. I love her, see her every few months, and I'm happy to give her money on that. So you also want to look on that. You want to give up because the thing is, when you are trying to be cheap and make a decision to be cheap, that mistake is usually going to be more expensive. Trust me, 5,000 euros to the Finanzamt on that. So from there, you're going to actually build your network. So a lot of times, I don't know for any of you, a lot of times we compete instead of complement. We're afraid that if we share ideas, someone else is going to steal it. So if you work in hospitality, maybe not talk to Airbnb about a new lightning idea. You need to be thoughtful. But at the same time, let's say you're in copywriting. Get to know a web designer. Get to know an SEO expert. So you talk to a client, you can offer them a whole package from other people. Or I have a friend, if she can't take a job because it doesn't fit with her, it's not with the timing because she has another project, she recommends friends that do it. And so when she was actually at the end of last year, she had less clients, she reached out to her network saying, hey, I have a lot of room for clients. The last few months, she's been getting them in. So you actually want to connect with other people. The best way, if you don't have your network, is a coffee chat. Now, you're not trying to sell that person. They will know. You just want to get to know them. And at the end, find out who from your network should I meet? Because it could be that it comes a future client, a new project, a new job, or I know of someone that they were in South Africa, someone said they should introduce you, and now they have a romantic partner. Goes for everything. Also for me, I found a really good friend that's building a business as well, and so it kept me sane at different times with that. So you want to go out and do that. Does anyone know the PayPal Mafia idea? Okay, some of you don't. So basically, the founders of PayPal went through and they leveraged their network, their resources, their influence, and from that started several companies. So Tesla, LinkedIn, YouTube, Yelp, and Palantir. You might not be on the same level, although we do say several people were moved, and I was 2 people away from the queen. Did not help, but still. On that. So that's what you want to leverage. It's powerful. All right. Get ready to stand up real quick. We're going to move around for a moment. Anyone know the game Whack-A-Mole? It's not turning. So the game of the Whack-A-Mole is when you actually, you're playing a game, something pops up and you try to hit it really quickly. We're going to do that. So if I call out something that you're in, what you're working in, you're going to stand up real quick. So if you're in sales, marketing, advertising, growth, SEO, stand up, 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 stand up. All right. Look around, whether you're sitting or standing. These are people that you could connect with to help, to support, to learn from. All right, sit down. The next, engineers, developers, product, automation, AI, building physical or building digital products. Look around, look around, look around, look around, look around, sit down. Creative, designers, videographers, social media, podcasts, writers. Oh, they're all in the back. Okay, there we go. Look around. All right, sit down. Artists, music, film, fashion. We have no artists in here? Okay, I'll stand up with that. Perfect. All right, probably I would be too. And now, any coaches in here? Any coaches of any type? Ba, 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 ba. Quick, quick, quick. Look around, look around. All right, sit down. We could keep going. But for any of the rest of you, I want everyone to find, when you leave here, find one person you don't know and have a coffee chat. It's better if you invite them. It's a whole new experience. They like you more. But then find one person and go out and have coffee. You're wanting to expand that. All right. From there, how many of y'all use lots of platforms to do different things? You might have one for your marketing, one for your social media, one for this. And sometimes, exactly, sometimes it might be that you only need 2 things from here, 1 thing from here, 1 thing from here, and you have all these tools. So what you can do now with AI, create it yourself. It saves you a lot of money. Do you need a database? Do you need a membership platform? You can create it using things like Lovable. You can have no idea what you're doing. It will put everything together, tweak it, and then you run it for very little money, and there you go. And since we are all people, this can go for every area. So for me, due to health issues, I gained 30 kilos in the last 2 years. Some of it's cleared up, so right now I'm working on to losing it. One way to do that is counting calories. I hate it. I cook a lot. So if I have a bowl of soup for the week, I don't know how many beans are in it. I don't know how much meat is in it, and it's very hard to weigh. And I feel like I don't like everything, weighing my chicken, weighing my rice. So I built an app. I didn't like what was on the market. I also made it so that when I can simply take pictures of my food, and it does it for me as well. Because of that, I have lost 10 kilos, and I did my first high rocks. Yay! Still have 18 more to go. But you can easily do this for every area. Skipping that slide. All right. So automation. Automation is simply an action that triggers steps in a sequence. That's all it is. A lot of times we hear certain words and we think, oh my gosh. But that's all you're doing. And we created processes. You know what starts it, and you know what the steps are followed. So there's a tool like Make. You can simply go in. It's drag and drop. So if you're non-technical, it's amazing. And then from there, you can also go in AI to figure out what the terms are of what you're doing and what you need to do. But you can create that way. And like I said, you do not automate relationships. Those are for people. Those are for connecting. And one point of that is, I don't know, from anyone that looks at Instagram sometimes, it always says, paste this word, but it replies to everything. So if someone has an issue and squawking at them, it's like, great to hear, let me send this over. This does not build trust, and this is what you're doing. You're using it to help you build better, but you're also using it to build trust. On that, how many of y'all know this article or saw it? Anyone? Oh, wow, okay. So basically what happened is a startup had their little AI agent working, and it deleted the database and the backup. For anyone not in tech or computers, this is absolutely terrible and will send you in a tizzy crying on your floor. I'm not quite sure if they got anything back, but this is what we want to avoid. This is where you can overthink. Go down the rabbit hole. What is the worst thing that can happen? And how do we fix it? So let's say you put out a free trial, you're using AI, and someone's like, ooh, does all your credits. You're gonna have to pay for that. Or let's say someone goes, yeah, that's the login area, but I wanna go in the back end and actually do a few things here and there. That's on you. It wants to delete a database. Go through. You should have protections. It should not have access to certain things. You should not allow it to have things, sometimes put things in other places. You want to go down the rabbit hole. Think of AI like a 6-year-old. It can do things itself, but you might not want to leave it in a room with scissors by themselves because they'll probably cut off their hair. I've taught kids, and yes, they do that, and their neighbors. And so with that, it's kind of like why they have those dumb instructions. Do not put a hairdryer in a bathtub. Someone did it. You want to put your AI the same way. Has anyone actually yelled at their AI before while you're trying to work? Yeah. So what happens, you're going, I would like the person on the left to have a black shirt. Okay, looks good. I want the other two to have black shirts. No. Alrighty, I want them all in black. No. All right, go back. No. Go back to the beginning. Yes, I have yelled at it at 2 o'clock in the morning. So we actually want to avoid this. So what do you have to think about? One, if AI doesn't know, it makes it up. It also is like a happy puppy. It wants to do things so you like it, and it'll tell you what you want to hear. Tell it not to. Another thing is, it's only been trained on certain things. So it's like, for the longest times, for 50 years, seat belts for crash test dummies were only done on the male body. If they wanted to do a woman, they made a smaller male body. Same way, it's trained on certain data, but it's limited to the point of view of who's training it and the data is given. So sometimes it's missing some points of diversity for people and facts and ideas. Another thing is, AI has been working with you for a bit. It kind of knows you, but you change. It doesn't realize it. So what you want to do is you actually want to go back and tell it, hey, we need to update a few things here. This is not how I work anymore. So you want to constantly work with it. Alrighty. So how many of y'all are already working with AI? Ooh, very nice. So most of you will already know that you need to tell it what it does, you need to tell it the tone, you also need to tell it, give it the guardrails. But the biggest thing is how to actually make it personalized. Some of you probably already do this, but at the same time, for those that don't, is the actual documentation. So one thing is having a markdown file that says everything about me. What I do, what led me to here, how do I work, who do I work with, what are the patterns, all this kind of stuff. Because the thing is, AI, it's mathematical computations. It figures out things here and puts it together. So you have to give it something to actually work so it can actually work with you. Another thing, then you open up another folder, create one for your business, put everything inside that. So who your competitors are, why did you start it, what was the trigger, who does it better, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, do all your research. You can have AI do research on this as well, and put it in this folder. Along with the AI styles, a different folder, a different markdown file, because you want to tell it not to do. I do not want you making up facts when you don't know. Please ask questions if you are not sure. putting all that thing. How do I talk to my clients? What emotion do I want my clients to feel if they look at content or the different things? You're going, so all of your branding, your feelings, your emotions are also going into this. Also, anything that people know it's AI writing, tell it not to do that. It sometimes still will do it on the different points. You also want to have a document that acts kind of like memory. After in the session, what worked, what didn't work. So what does it need to change for future? Have the AI write it. So then it's not doing the same mistakes over. Sometimes it forgets and you have to go, go check that file again. It's like, oh, yes, you did mention that. But at the same time, this helps you for it to keep learning on that. So with the different points, how do you actually make it so that it works? So anyone know what a connector is? Yell it out. No, you can tell me. Okay, so connector would be like, it creates a link. So let's say it links it to Canva, so it can actually do your work. It did not create this presentation. There are 3 typos in the presentation. If you saw it, that was all on me. Then from there, you're actually going into your skill. The lovely things, let's say it's a job skill. So everything in there is going to help you to redo your CV. It's going to help you to figure out a scoring system, how well your CV does. It's all in there so the AI knows, when I want to do this task, these are the things that I should think about. So I don't have to keep telling it. And it's going to save you memory, and it's also going to save you the time and the tokens, so you're not actually burning through them. All right, and then from there, you're going to go into a plugin. So it's kind of like a package. For this action, let's say there's a small business one that Claude has. It's all in a package. You upload it. It's all in there together for you to use. My favorite, MCP. Are all of you using MCPs? Please tell me yes. Oh, actually, no. OK, for those of you that aren't, MCP. This is how you really get your AI to work. So let's say you do meta ads. Put your MCP. It knows now, how does Facebook meta ads work? What should I look for? And also can pull in the information of, how are my ads doing? What should be improved? So it allows it to actually work on your behalf. So this is where it does all the different things. And we're going back to memory again. This is constantly updating, constantly telling it so it knows. One tool that a lot of people use is Obsidian. In here? Obsidian? OK. So it's external source that you can also connect that acts as a bigger brain. So it can also link things, especially if you have different projects. And basically, you can also do a setup so eventually you get a voice message and you put it in there. And so it constantly updates and links it all together. Saves you wonders on this. So from there, we're going to go through one of the workflows. So how many of y'all actually do content creation? OK. Makes sense. OK, I'm going to squeak because it's seeing it far away on that. So content creation, let's say you tell your automation, you tell your AI, you give it documentation, you add the MCP. So let's say the MCP for meta ads, for post hog, for analytics, that gets put in. You give it a schedule it. So at this time, it should actually go through my meta ads, everything else, tell me what works, what doesn't work, and create a draft. Your virtual assistant goes through the draft and goes, I like this, I don't like this, fix it. It can also decide, should we change on the budget, anything else? AI uploads it to like Zernio, it gets posted to schedule, it goes out. You have a folder that says, oh, you share it with you, your AI, your virtual assistants, and you load up your pictures, you upload videos, you load up ideas, so it's ready for future content. So we don't have time, unfortunately, for the other workflow. But the beautiful thing is, I created slides. So for all the notes from the whole presentation, you can actually download it. You don't actually have to put your email address in either. I hate that. But with that, there are also other freebies in there that please do put in your email address. So you can take a look at that. If you want to talk further, if you want to have a coffee chat, then please come see me. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Tabitha. All righty, let's go to questions then real quick. There we go. Okay. First one, that was actually my question that I put in. So I have a VA in the Philippines currently. Are there any specific countries right now that you'd recommend that are pretty hot for hiring a VA?
So there are a couple of agencies I like to work with. One actually works with mothers and people that need support in the different countries, and they actually find kind of the best talents. So it depends. Let's say if you're looking at more web developing, it's a stereotype, but you can also look at India, the different aspects. If sometimes you need more of, let's say, writing skills, sometimes you can, the Philippines. If you're needing more automation, then actually places in Africa or sometimes also South America. So it depends on the skill. So what you can do is find the different agencies, and they range for like €7 an hour for places that are in smaller countries or in different places. And always check with your VA if this actually works for them to make sure they're not being exploited. And then talk with them. Usually they'll send you, match you with several, but I actually interview, like you're interviewing for an employee. Interview with them, and then give it a different trial to see if you work together. And to see also how well their skills are. They need time, but see if they actually know. Because sometimes you can get an expert for social media, or you might need a general VA, depending on your needs.
And it's always the same, isn't it? Just be clear in your scope to be able to get the best person. To quote the Spice Girls, tell them what you really, really want.
And also, you can find someone that, like for my virtual assistant, she's based in Kenya, but she's also building a business. So she also kind of understood what I was needing, what I was doing on the different aspects, and I needed someone more for social media, so that's what she was doing.
Okay, cool, thank you. Next question is from Irina Gonzalez. Irina, can you raise your hand? Where are you? Hello? Hola? What is your preferred AI tool to create processes?
So it changes. Right now, so process is basically putting your thinking down and then writing it out. For automation, like if I just need purely automation, I actually like Make, because they have a larger free tier. You can put in AI to figure out what exactly it does. For AI, I actually like mixing Cursor and usually Claude at the moment. Some people use Codex because the thing is with it, I can actually give the allowances. So my AI cannot by itself overwrite database. If it needs to do something in that, then it gets permission. So I can easily see that. I have all my files, and I can also see it coding. So that is something that I use and I help, that lets me, but some people just use Claude Code, some people use Claw, there are a lot of different things. It's finding what you want and then keep updating it, because some tools that weren't so great are actually becoming better. So it is a little trial and experience, see what works for you. And write a few articles and whatnot and see, like, do I like the content, or do I have to do all the changes? If so, fix something.
Yeah, it's a constantly moving target as well, isn't it? It's changing so quickly.
And they keep updating, like Claude was like, oh, for a while, skill, it's like, now here are MCPs, and here's this.
Next question from Tom, who is at the front as part of our stage team. How do I keep from getting burnt out as a solo entrepreneur? I think anyone that runs their own business has suffered from this at some point. So, great question.
This is back with like the focusing on what you love to do. Because I know for myself, like juggling everything, it's everything else that stresses me out. Also, get a sounding board, someone that's on the same journey as you to bounce ideas. Because sometimes, yes, I can do it with AI, but AI is also limited. Get someone else that you can share ideas with, bounce, like a friend and I, we do it once a month. We have a coffee at least, if we're in the same area, or if not. And that helps you get it out. And like I said, delegation. We're very bad, at least for me, to let things go. And we give it away, and then we take it back because we didn't like how it's done. No, teach them how to do it or switch the person. But delegation is a really important one. And train your automation AI so you're doing, because even if you have an automation, let's say, save you 10 minutes. 10 minutes plus 10 minutes. I'll tell one story real quick. I worked with a company, and so they brought me in. 3 weeks, I talked to several different departments. I talked from 20 employees for the one department, and we figured out where they were losing time. We saved them 3.5 hours per employee per week, just for simple automations.
Awesome. There's also a really good book called Free to Focus by Michael Hyatt that's great at identifying what you should delegate. Also is a bit of a tip.
Oh, and one more point, exercise, movement, art. Getting away lets you come back.
Okay, Tabitha, that's all that we have time for questions now. They will get answered in the app if you've got a question for Tabitha and she didn't get around to answering it. Tabitha, awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so it's 10 o'clock. We're going to have a quick 10-minute break, go and get a coffee, go to the bathroom. We'll be back in 10 minutes sharp. See you then.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is what I wanna be. Suddenly I see why the hell it means so much to me. And she's taller than most, and she's looking at me. I can see her eyes looking from the page of a magazine. She makes me feel like I could be a tower, big strong tower, yeah. The power to be, the power to give, the power to see, yeah, yeah. Suddenly I see she got the power to be, the power to give, the power to see, yeah, yeah. Suddenly I see she got the power to be, the power to give, the power to see, yeah, yeah, yeah. Suddenly I see she got the power to be, the power to give, the power to see, yeah, yeah. Suddenly I see she got the power to be, the power to give, the power to see, yeah, yeah. Suddenly I see. This is what I wanna be. Suddenly I see why the hell it means so much to me. This is what I wanna be. Suddenly I see why the hell it means so much to me. Oh yeah, yeah. Suddenly I see why the hell it means so much to me. Yeah, yeah. Suddenly I see why the hell it means so much to me.
Vivir mi vida, la 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 la. Eso. Vivir mi vida, la 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 la. Voy a gozar, vivir mi vida. A veces llega la lluvia para limpiar las heridas. A veces solo una gota puede vencer la sequía. ¿Y para qué llorar? ¿Para qué? Si duele una pena, se olvida. ¿Y para qué sufrir? ¿Para qué? Si así es la vida, hay que vivirla, la ley. Vivir mi vida, la la la. Voy a gozar, vivir mi vida, la la la. Eso. Voy a vivir el momento para entender el destino. Voy a escuchar el silencio para encontrar el camino. ¿Y para qué llorar? ¿Para qué? Si duele una pena, se olvida. ¿Y para qué sufrir? ¿Para qué? Si duele una pena, se olvida. La ley. Opa. Vivir
Yeah, but I'm a dance teacher as well, so I'm used to speaking to crowds. I played improv theater for 6 years, but this is something else. I guess my heartbeat is up there. So yeah, yeah. So I know the material, so that should help me. Yeah, there's a lot of interest. Yeah. So, no, very exciting. I'm just gonna have fun. So there's nothing to lose here, right? So, but thank you for the support.
Voy a reír, voy a bailar, vivir mi vida, la. Voy
I hope Black is okay for the video.
voy a gozar, vivir mi vida,
Let's do it.
la.
Okay. Hello? Now? Oh, oops. Hello? Try again.
I think.
Hello? 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 Test 1, 2.
I'm actually. Oh, now I'm off. Okay.
Hello? Okay. We got there in the end. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Ready for our second speaker? It's a little bit more enthusiastic than the cinema stage yesterday, but we'll get there. Come 11 o'clock, we're going to play some games. Okay. So, our next speaker, Jan, has a master's degree in civil engineering and spent over 20 years in IT, but always with one eye on the financial markets. During lockdown, he left the corporate world and switched to finance and eventually built his own trading software, founded an investment club, and is registered as a financial advisor in Malta and is also a portfolio manager for an international asset management company. Fun facts about Jan: he's a very keen salsa dancer and kizomba teacher, and as a British guy, God gave us a sense of humor because we have no sense of rhythm, so much respect to Jan for being able to do that. He also thinks Game of Thrones is the best ever TV production. So please give a warm welcome to Jan Grön.
Wow. Am I too loud? Okay. Good morning, and thank you for being here. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, James. It's quite a bit to see the room from this side, I can tell you. Before I start, a little disclaimer. I am going to pack a lot of information in 25 minutes. And if you don't grasp all of it, that's perfectly fine. I kind of summarized the key concepts in some takeaways, and if you focus on those, you can look at them later at home and look up how they work on your own pace. All right, so let's get started. My name is Jan, and I make my living trading options. Let's see if this works. I have to press 3 times. Yes. No. No. No pressure. Okay, so no. Good start. Okay. Exactly, and they gave me this. So I make my living trading options, and when I tell people what I do for a living, I get really strange reactions, because options are a very little known financial product, and they have a kind of reputation of being dangerous. And there's a lot of prejudice out there. So I will get reactions like, ooh, options are dangerous, stay away from them, it's like gambling, you're doing a casino. And then when people see my results in trading, they even accuse me of doing money laundering for the weapons industry or the drug cartels. So if you think about it, I've been effectively called a criminal for trading options. So now I have to do the right thing. Yes, let me give you this story to show you how ignorant some people or how little is known about options. This is an actual quote from a director of investments of a Belgian bank. And he said, when I talked about options, "Are you crazy? Even Nobel Prize winners have been ruined by options." Now, this is actually a true story. If you know anything about options and you read anything about it, you probably heard of the Black-Scholes-Merton formula. And that was the formula that completely changed the financial system at the time because it allowed to calculate the price of an option pretty accurately, whereas before the formula was there, people were just like guessing. All three of them received the Nobel Prize of Economics for inventing this formula. And then, ironically, when they started the long-term capital management fund a few years later, two of them, Scholes and Merton, were on the board of directors of this fund when it went bust. That had nothing to do with options. That had something to do with levering your fund 30 times. So that means they have $30 of debt for every $1 invested. And then I think it was 1998, could be 97, the Russian oil crisis happened and they went bankrupt. So even the story is true. My mission today is to get rid of some of this prejudice. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm not here to recruit clients, although I will invest your money if you come to me. I want to take away some of the prejudice and show you some fun and super safe things that can be done with options. So let me ask the audience, who of you is doing any kind of investment or trading with stocks? Yeah, almost everyone, exactly. What about if I told you you can increase your return with 7, 8, 9-ish%, 100% safe? Now that's quite a statement, right? That's quite a statement in finance to say there is no risk in what you're going to do, but it's actually true, and let me show you how. So, another question. If you want to buy shares or an ETF or some stock, how do you do it? Who does a market order? Please, no one. Okay. Who does a limit order? Well, this is the normal way to go. Don't do that. We're going to show you, or I'm going to show you how to buy stock by actually selling what we call a put option. By the way, this is the only color you're going to see in my entire presentation, so take it in. Next question. If you sell stock, and of course you own it, we're not talking about shorting stock. How do you do that? Again, normally you would do it with a limit order. Let me show you how you're going to sell stock by selling a call option. Now, I have to give you a little bit of option basics. It's just going to be a few slides, so bear with me. A stock, an option, it's a very little known product. So if you want to trade options, there's a whole list. There's like literally thousands of options you can choose from. And you're going to choose them based on some properties you can choose. So first of all, the options are in a financial category called the derivatives. Derivatives are futures, options, warrants, and turbos, if you know them. So the first thing you can choose, of course, is the type of option you want to trade, a put option or a call option. An option never exists on its own. It always has what we call an underlying value, which can be, for instance, a share, like the Tesla stock, or it can be an index like the S&P 500. That's the underlying value. An option has what we call a strike, which is the kind of target price you want this underlying value to reach, because then the option will actually do something. That's the underlying. And an option has a limited lifespan. So options have what we call an expiration date. And at that date, they just cease to exist. And it's typically the most widely used type of options are the monthly ones, and they always expire on the third Friday of every month. Actually, I don't know why. If someone can tell me, that would be nice. But there are also weekly options that expire every Friday, and there are even daily options that expire every day. So you can trade options for today or for tomorrow evening if you want. Now, an option has a price. We call that the premium. You cannot choose the price. The price is set by the Black-Scholes formula, but you can choose if you want to trade an option at that price, so there's some freedom there. And then, of course, you choose if you buy or sell it. Now, in 99.999% of the cases, one option will handle 100 pieces of the underlying. So if you have one option on Tesla, that will handle 100 shares of Tesla. And then something happens when this underlying value, like a share or the S&P 500 index, reaches this strike or this target price you put into the option. So those are the properties you can choose from the list of options which one you want to actually trade. And then once you've chosen an option, you get some properties for free, and the most famous ones are the Greeks, like delta, gamma, theta, vega, and rho. We'll come back to the delta one. It's actually quite a fun one because it gives you in percentage the probability you're going to make money on this specific option. So that can help you decide if you want to trade it or not. There's also something called the implied volatility. If you trade stocks, you've probably heard of the VIX index, which is a volatility index. And there's a very strong correlation between the volatility and the option price. So as an option trader, we actually like high volatility because then we get high premiums for our options, and we usually sell options. So we make more money by selling them. There's something else, intrinsic value and time value. I'm not going to go into detail. Just know that the further away in the future this expiration date is, so the longer the remaining lifespan of your option is, the more expensive it will be. All right. Last 2 slides of theory. Let's say you want to buy options. What is that all about? You buy something, so you're going to pay the premium, the price of the option, to whatever counterparty there is in the market. What is the risk? You can only lose what you invest. Same as with stocks. You buy 1,000 euros of options, you can lose 1,000 euros. Now, when you buy options, you get these definitions, and you can read that in Option Trading for Dummies or a million websites online. I'm not going to go into it. The definition will always be a call option gives you the right to buy something, blah, 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 or a put option gives you the right to sell something. I find those definitions quite boring. The thing you have to remember here, if you buy an option, you have a right. But I find this much more interesting. A call option rises in value when the underlying, the stock or the index, rises in value as well. And then it gets really interesting because a put option rises in value when the underlying declines. Now that's interesting because if you want to trade stocks or ETFs, they have to go up to make a profit. And now suddenly we have a financial product that rises in value when the underlying goes down. So that opens up a lot of possibilities about making money in declining or stagnant markets, which is impossible if you just trade stocks. So I find those much more interesting. Even more interesting is when you start selling options. Again, I'm not going to go into detail of the definitions. You can look those up. But if you sell options, you don't have a right, you have an obligation. Might sound scary. We'll see in a minute how that is exactly what you want. So if you sell a call, you have an obligation to sell the underlying. If you sell a put, you might have an obligation to buy the underlying. But we're going to see that's what you wanted to do anyway. All right, so let's put this to good use. But I need to drink a bit because my throat is irritated by the AC. And I'm getting a dry mouth. So let's put this into practice and see how this works. So we're going to sell, we're going to buy stock, and I'm going to show you how to do it by selling a put option. I picked one random stock. I don't know if it's readable. Can you read it in the back? That's okay? Okay. So I picked a stock that I follow for a few years, which is the Norwegian Cruise Line Holding. The ticker is NCLH. And at the time of writing of this slide, which was May 19th, the stock price was 15.26 euros. Now, I'm interested in this stock. I want to buy it, but I'm going to wait for a little dip. I want to buy it at 15 euros. Normally, again, you would put in a limit order, buy shares of NCLH as soon as the price reaches 15 euros. We're not going to do that. We're going to sell a put option. And I talked about the properties you can choose before that determine which exact option you're going to trade. So first thing is the underlying value. Very easy. In this case, it's NCLH. We want to buy Norwegian Cruise Line Holding. The strike price of the target price of the underlying is exactly the price you would have put in the limit order. So in this case, 15 euros strike price. Expiration date. We're talking monthly options. So you want to take the next third Friday of next month. So let's assume you're already in the second Friday or the second week of this month. You're not going to do it till next week because the remaining lifespan is going to be too short to get any decent premium. You trade for the expiration date of next month. So you have a lifespan of about 5 weeks. We'll get you a better premium. A premium, talking about premium, so the price of the option you receive because you're selling something, the price of the option, and this is real data from that date, is 84 cents. Doesn't sound like much, but again, one option handles 100 underlying, so you directly receive 84 euros in your account, right? Now what happens when this 18th of June arrives? There's two possibilities. Either the price has hit the target price of 15 or it hasn't. Let's assume it has hit. So NCLH price has declined a little bit and has reached a target price of 15. You sold an option, so you have an obligation now to buy them, 100 pieces of them, at the exact price of 15 euros, which is exactly what you would have done with the limit order. You wanted to buy it, so you spent 1,500 euros buying 100 shares of NCLH. In the other scenario, when the price doesn't reach the 15 euros, nothing happens. The option ceases to exist because it's its expiration date, and nothing happens. You don't have to buy the shares because the target price was not reached. But, and that's the important one, in both cases, you get to keep the 84 euros. Thank you very much. Now, in the first scenario, when you did buy them for 1,500 euros, but you already received 84 euros on premium, your actual cost was 1,416 euros. So you made a profit, an extra profit of 5.6% for free, risk-free, just by using an option instead of using a limit order. In the second scenario, when you didn't get it, we call it executed, so the option gets executed. You didn't buy the stock, so you can do it again for next month, and you will receive another premium, maybe 80, 90-ish euro, and maybe then you get the target price of 15, or maybe you choose another target price because the market has changed. In both cases, you get to keep the premium you received for the option. Thank you very much. So what did I just show you? I showed you a 100% safe way of trading stocks. Question is after the presentation. Someone raised his hand to ask a question. This is a 100% way of using options to buy stock, zero risk, and not only is there no risk to make a loss, you're guaranteed to make a profit because you always receive the premium of the option. Now that's the first takeaway. Options can be used, and contrary to common belief, 100% safe. Let's do the quick example of the opposite. So you bought NCLH, you own 100 shares of them, and now you want to sell them. So you bought them, let's ignore the reduction of price we got. Let's say we bought them at 15. The price is now 17. If they go up to 17.5, you say, okay, that's enough for me. I'm going to take my profit and I'm going to sell them. Again, normally you would put in a limit order. We're not going to do that. We are going to sell a call option. And again, the properties we choose are almost the same. The underlying value, again, will be NCLH. The target price of the option of the underlying will be the same price you would have put in the limit order, 17.5 euros. Whatever date you want to sell them, same thing. You might have kept them for a year. Take some expiration next month, so you receive a little bit of premium for the option. And in this case, we receive a premium of 35 cents, which is lower because call options are always cheaper than put options. So we receive 35 euros. Same scenario, either by the time this expiration date next month has arrived, the target price was hit or it was not. If it was hit, you are again obligated, because you sold an option, you have an obligation to sell your stock at exactly the price in the option, which is 17.5 euros. If the price was not reached, again, nothing happens. You don't have to sell your stock, but again, in both cases, you get to keep the 35 euros. And that's another 2% of profit, because instead of 17.5, your actual profit was 17.85. Thank you very much for using options. So, key takeaway, again, if you're not assigned, or the option is not executed, and you're still interested in the shares, you sell another call for next month, and then you want to sell the shares next month, you write another call, and maybe you get executed then, but again, you will receive the premium. So key takeaway 2, don't trade your stocks directly. Use options. Always sell options to do stock trading or shares trading or ETFs. Anything that has options on it, you can use this system. Now, what's the catch, you will ask? There's no catch profit-wise, but as you saw, maybe you're not executed and you have to wait a month to get your shares. If you want to have them now, this doesn't work, right? So if you want to have them now, put in a limit order close to the target price and you will get executed. Second thing, it's always about 100 shares. Now, if that's NCLH for 17 euros, that's 1,700, that's very doable. If that's a stock that costs 3,000 euros, that's 300,000 euro of capital you need. So that's the only backdraw. You need 100 pieces to trade. And I'm going to have another sip. And then we'll see. Oh, we won't. Yeah, how we can use this delta property that I talked about before. So let's say we're going to trade options. And I'm going to use this delta to determine what I'm going to do. So what you see on screen now is a part of a list of the call option chain, we call it an option chain, on NCLH. And on the last column, no, not working. No, that's one too much. Yeah, okay. On the last column, you can see it in the top, June 26. That means we are looking at options that will expire on the 3rd Friday of June. And below that, you see the different target prices. So on the left, you can see at time of taking this screenshot, the share price of NCLH was 18.15 euro. You see a little blue line in the middle. That's the separation between above and below the current price. So that's the list of target prices you can choose from, one of the properties you can choose to see which option you want to trade. Nope. It's always going to sleep. Okay, the second last column is the price or the premium you pay or receive to trade this option. And then the first column is this little delta property. And as I said before, delta gives you the percentage to make money on this option. Now, it's a proxy. It's not the exact percentage, but it comes very close, especially for short-term options. Those of you who know Black-Scholes, the exact probability is calculated with the normal distribution of the D1 factor. I'm losing you. You can see it goes between 0 and 1, so between 0 and 100% to make money. And let's see how we can use this. Let's say we want to trade this option. We're going to sell this call. What does that mean? So the target price is 20 euros. So for something to happen, the share price of NCLH has to reach 20 euros. The second last column, you see 0.15, which means we receive 15 cents for the option, but times 100, we receive 15 euros. And then the first column gives you the delta, in this case 16, which means we have a 16% chance, or the market estimates there is a 16% chance that by the 3rd Friday of June 26, NCLH will reach this target price of 20 euros. That also means there's an 84% chance it won't. So there's an 84% chance I can sell this call option, receive the premium, 15 euros, and then I don't have to sell my shares, right? Let's see one other example. Let's say we want to sell this one. The target price is now 17. And you notice this is below the 18.5, so the target price is already reached. Now, what is the chance? So if for not to be executed, the target NCLH would go to have to go below 17. And at the moment, it's at 18.15. Now, you receive a premium of 1.26, so you receive 126 euros. But the chance of that is 77%. So you can choose, I'm going to sell call options and get a low premium, but also a low probability of being executed. And I can do that probably several times. Or I can get a high probability of being executed to have to sell my shares, but I get a much higher premium for that. And that's actually what portfolio managers do when they own stock. They continuously sell low delta call options on whatever stock they own at least 100 pieces of, and they receive all the premium and enhance the profit and the return, independent of the stock moving up or down. So that's the next takeaway. Cool. Now, that's all good and well. We're trading in combination with stocks and shares and ETFs. I don't want to do that. What if I don't want to manage a portfolio with stocks? I just want cash and options. And also, this is all 100% risk-free, as I showed you. What if I do want to take some risk? I'm not averse to putting a part of my portfolio at risk. So what we're going to do, let's talk about that risk first. If you buy an option, let's repeat that. The maximum risk is how much you spend. If you're selling options and you're not doing it in the combination with stock, as I just showed you, your theoretical loss is unlimited. This is where all the stories come from. And I cannot stress this enough. If you want to do this, please get educated. Do not read Option Trading for Dummies. start trading naked calls or naked options with real money. Do not do that, I beg you. Now, as I said, I don't want any stocks in my portfolio. I don't want to manage that, because if I own stock, I have to do due diligence, I have to read reports, I have to read results, I have to predict if the market will go up and down. I just want cash in options. And there's a very neat thing for that called an index option. So as I said, an option always has an underlying value. We had the example of NCLH or Tesla or an ETF. What happens if you take an index as underlying option, like the S&P 500, or in my case, I only trade the AX Amsterdam index in the Netherlands? If you get executed, you cannot buy 100 pieces of S&P 500. That's something that doesn't exist. So instead of the option price at time of expiration will be settled in cash on your account. So that's super practical, because instead of managing a portfolio with multiples of 100 shares, I now have only cash when the option expires. Could be a loss or a profit, but no portfolio to manage. So index options are super practical for that, because they are cash settled. All right, we're almost there. So you want to do pure option strategies, no stocks to manage, no portfolio to manage. I only have cash and options. What can you do? Well, there's a whole different range of palettes of strategies you can use, depending on the capital you have available, depending on your risk appetite, and depending on the time you want to invest or spend trading. Let's look at that in detail and give you some real-life numbers. The capital, if you want to do small conservative strategies, you need a few thousand euros. So the broker where you trade options will ask you some collateral in cash on the account. They will probably also do a questionnaire to see if you have at least some basic knowledge of options, but I guess with all the AI these days, that shouldn't be a problem. If you want to do more complex strategies, you need tenfold that. 30 to 40,000 euros. There's very few strategies the broker will not allow you to do. Risk appetite, again, depends on your personality. We have seen 100% safe things to do with options. If you want to kill yourself next week, you can do very dangerous things as well. So it's up to you. You want to take a chance to lose all your savings and go bankrupt, up to you. But again, the broker will kind of help you estimate how much is at risk, and it's something called a margin. Now, those of you who trade already, you will know it. So as I said, to be allowed to trade options, the broker will ask you to deposit some cash on your broker account, and it will, like almost every minute of the day, calculate how much of that money is at risk, depending on the combination of options you own or are in your strategy. And when that margin reaches 100%, the broker will say, oh, you're not longer covered, and they will close positions for you to get below 100%, and you probably have a realized loss. If you're lucky, they give you a margin call, like Mr. Groen, you have 15 minutes, and then you can either deposit more cash, which usually takes longer, or close some positions yourself. At least you get to choose which one. So the margin will kind of help you protect yourself, protect you from yourself. And again, thank you. Last thing, time constraint. And I'm not only talking about how much time you want to spend trading, it can also matter how much time you have or how much availability you have going on the market. If you have some manual labor job, you probably don't have access to a computer during the day. So again, we have different kinds of strategies. You can do things that require full-time monitoring or full-time trading. In my case, it's usually 5 to 30 minutes a day. Or we also have things for people that don't have access to a computer. We call it walk-away strategies. You put in your strategy or your positions, and you go hike in the jungle for 3 weeks offline, and you don't have to bother. The positions are so conservative, they take care of themselves. And then, again, you taught option trading for dummies. You read that. They give you a plethora of different strategies you can start trading with. Not all of them are used in real life, but they're a very good way to get to learn options and to get some intuition for how these products work. So bottom line, option strategies can be tailored to your needs and possibilities, capital, risk appetite, and time. And of course, there's a fourth one, which is knowledge level. But I kind of included that in risk appetite. You're going to trade stuff you don't know about, that's your risk. All right, what about me? And then I'm done. One last thing. So I was in finance I was in IT for 20 years. I changed to finance and realized after doing that and doing it well that I didn't have to be in Antwerp in Belgium, where I'm originally from, to do this kind of stuff. So coming to Nomad Fest 24 actually inspired me to become a nomad. And now I'm living my dream life, traveling the world, doing option trading on the side. So yeah, that was my last thing. I hope I inspired you a little bit today. If you want to get more in depth, you can talk to me anytime. I'll be here till mid-July. And also, I shall say, for those who probably expected some real-life strategies, you didn't get that today, but we're hosting, Chacha and I are hosting a Nomad topic dinner tomorrow at lunchtime in Momini at 1 after the last talk here. So if you want to discuss real-life strategies, we're going to give a little presentation. It's a free walk-in. You pay for your own food, though, but you're welcome to join us and discuss real-life option strategies. And now I really have to end. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Thank you, Jan. We overran a little bit, so
Yeah,
we've
sorry.
only got a couple of minutes for questions. I know there were quite a lot of questions that came into the chat. So, Jan, if you'd be so kind after the presentation just to go into the app and answer
I will,
some of the
definitely.
questions, because
Yeah.
we had quite a few come in. So, first question is from Maria. Maria, where are you? Ah, there you are. Ciao. Do you use any AI tools or agents to help you make your trading decisions?
No. As far as I know, AI-run funds are not that successful. They're probably around, but I've tried to automate some of the decisions that I use in my trading software that I wrote myself. And for now, the human intuition is unbeatable. So I get the best results when I take the decisions myself, because you have a kind of feeling for market sentiment and stuff that you cannot program into fixed rules. So also the market is too stochastic to get any patterns out that might be used to train an AI. That's my take on it. Probably a lot of you different, but that's, no, I don't use any AI. I do it all in my head and in my software.
Yeah, and I guess AI can't read geopolitics either, to your point as
Exactly,
well, right?
yeah.
Okay, next question. That's from Irina. We already saw, yes, there you are. What investment platform would you recommend to use?
I don't have much experience. I used to be on Saxo, but they're not the best for option trading, I must say. Don't kill me. Now I'm an advisor, so I need something that let me manage all my clients under my advisory account. And the platform that we use with the asset management company that I work for is Interactive Brokers. It's the biggest broker in the world. It's the pro forma default to go to for all the big financial institutions. It has all the functionality you can dream of. And also the big institutional investors will use Interactive Brokers unless they're so big they have their own platform. So I use Interactive Brokers, but again, my knowledge of different platforms is very limited, so that would be my answer.
Okay, and then final question is from Maya Lee. Where are you? Just raise it. Ah, hello. Where's Mish Mish? She has the cutest dog. Do you offer hands-on workshops where participants can learn through practice and gain a deeper, more technical understanding of how it's done?
No, I'm afraid not. I travel the world all the time, and I want to concentrate on my option trading. I've been asked many times, can you start a course or stuff? I can refer you to the institute that trained me, but they're only available in Belgium. So no, I don't do workshops, but again, I want to repeat the invitation. We have a little lunch tomorrow, Chacha and I, where we talk about some strategies. That's the best I can offer you, I'm sorry. By the way, you can always talk to me. I love talking. This is my passion. I love talking about it. So we can always have dinner and talk options, but I don't do it in the form of a formal course.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. Jan,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so we overran by a couple of minutes there, so we're going to have a slightly shorter break. If you want to catch the next talk, please be back by 10 to 11, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
美しくなりたい写真には写らない美しさがあるからリンダリンダリンダリンダ僕が よりも優しいドブネズミみたいに何よりもあなたがリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリン しも僕がいつか君と出会い話し合うならそんな時はどうか愛の意味を知ってください愛じゃなくても恋じゃなくても君の話はしない決して負けない強い力を僕は一つだけ持つリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダ
Turned on? Yeah. Okay, ladies and gents, take your seats again. We're about to start in another minute or so. So please, if you'd like to wait, make your way back in, grab a seat, any seat, and we'll get started.
I think they're saying to close the door.
Quick, while we're waiting for everyone to come back in, where are you all from? Any Americans?
Wow. Oh,
come on, there's more of you. You've all got Canadian flags sewn on your backpacks, haven't you? Scared to admit. Canadians? Germans? Jawohl! Brits? Italians? Spanish? Where else? Scandinavians? Hey!
Scandies.
Aussies?
Boo.
There's always a few.
Boo.
Wherever you go in the world, you always meet Irish and Aussies. All right, then let's get started. So, our next speaker, Andy, is a New Zealander, and he's actually given me full permission to tell the typical national stereotype about New Zealand. So, for those of you that don't know, all I'm saying is it's a good job I'm not wearing anything white and fluffy on stage, otherwise he might get a bit excited. I'll leave that to your imagination. His Substack, 60 Seconds to Fire, is all about how he retired early and covers geo-arbitrage, options trading, and building income that doesn't depend on any one single client, country, or skill. Very important. His talk today makes the case that location, freedom, and financial security are two very, very different things, and most nomads only have one of them. Ain't that the truth? Please raise the roof, give a warm welcome to Andy Robertson.
Hey. Cheers, mate. Thank you. It's incredibly hilarious that he alluded to a sheep joke but didn't say it, and in one of my slides there is some sheep. So I apologize for that in advance. I am playing into the stereotype. Awesome. Okay, so obviously my name's Andy today, and usually, most days. But what are we going to be talking about today is breaking down some myths that just because you can travel around the world and you can spend 4 months in Thailand and live your very best life drinking smoothies in Chiang Mai, that you're free. You're temporarily free whilst economics allows you to be free. But is that sustainable? Is that permanent? Or is this going to be a period of your life that you look back on and you'd be like, man, I had a great time traveling around the world and working from a laptop, and that was kick-ass. Whatever happened to that? Why did I have to stop that? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Yes, is what we would like to. There we go. All right, so this is me. I am the less handsome-looking third bald man in a row to be on this stage, as I've worked out, far less tan. But I managed to retire at 35 after working in some government departments in New Zealand and selling my soul to the devil in Australia. The Australians, there we go. And I'm now retired with my partner. We live in Spain, and we're living a good life there. I do a bit of writing. I teach people options trading and other ways that they can retire early rather than sort of leaving it until the government allows them to retire at 65 or whatever your retirement age is. My sort of whole philosophy on life is do what you need to do so that you can take all of the time back while your knees still work, while you can get out into the mountains, while your eyes still work before your health starts to fade away. Because you have one life, so it's all about that for me. So let's get into the next bit here. A little bit of uncomfortable truth. Now, Valencia, where we live, is a bit of a hub for nomads that are moving through. And so I get a chance to speak to like literally dozens and dozens of these people, your people, our people at a time. And one of the things that I find really, really common is almost like the living paycheck to paycheck that we have with salary workers, but with digital nomads. Like all thinking I might go here next month, but I've got to wait on confirmation from a client to see if the contract is being renewed, or I'm not sure if we're going to land this new client, so I'm kind of in a bit of a limbo. Can I get a little show of hands? Has anybody ever felt that way? Yeah, quite a few people. Yep, your life is literally being dictated to you by outside sources of revenue beyond your control. So that's really what we want to talk about today. So I think one of the things that you might find, at least with some of the people that I'm talking to, is that in the next few years, they aren't necessarily going to have the ability to nomad as they want to, but more so as they are able to, driven by economics. They might have to stop, and not because they've found a place that they love and they want to settle down in, or they found somebody that they want to be with, so they don't want to travel as much. It is literally going to be a case of AI has eaten into their business, and now they can't generate as much, so now they have less options. Or clients have left. You know, sorry, thanks so much for your work, but we're going to go, you know, with someone else at this point. And if you have what's called concentration risk, you have, say, more than 20 or 30 or 40% of your revenue coming from a single client, what happens when they walk away? Your freedom is what walks away with them in a lot of instances with a lot of freelancers. All right? So, another little thing that we do as nomads, we go to the same places, we take the same selfies, with the same views. Who's seen the New York, the bridge there? Oh God, what is it called? The Brooklyn Bridge. And everyone's standing there, and in the background, you can probably, you know, see it myself. Or you've got the people that go to Bali, and they all become spiritual in Bali. And they go and they watch the sunrise at the beach with 25,000 million other digital nomads who are all connecting to the place. We do all of the same things in the same places. We're all independent thinkers, but we do these things. But what we don't do individually is look after ourselves financially. We're not focusing on things that are going to enable us to continue to do this, come what may. Whether AI decides that it is going to eat into 30% of a marketer's job and reduce their ability to earn. Whether you're a copywriter and now all of a sudden 3 of your big clients are going, hey, you know what? We've trained our own in-house AI on our writing style. We don't need you anymore. But thank you very much for all the things you've done for us over the years. Okay, so those sorts of storms, you need to be able to weather them, and we'll get into that a little bit later on how we can do that. But needless to say, just because everybody else is going to the same places, doing the same things, I want you to start thinking a little bit differently. I've even chucked in a few little photos, and if you look really, really closely there, you can see that I'm, in fact, driving the train. Very handsome bald man driving that train, apparently, in Lisbon. But you've got South Africa there, Colombia, bloody Mexico City, Bali. All of these places, we go to the same places, we do the same things. But I hope that we start to think a little bit differently. We had Jan, who came on here before, who talked to being able to trade options from anywhere in the world. That is an incredible bolt-on skill that every single person in this room can do. I do it. It takes me about 30 minutes a month because I'm the classic essential guy that he talked about, who sets up his strategy, closes his laptop, and then I'll go hike across Spain. I'll go do a Camino, and then I'll come back later on, a month later on, and job's done. But every single person in here has the ability, the skills and the intelligence to be able to learn a skill like that. It doesn't have to be options trading, to then bolt that on so that, okay, if in 3 months' time or a year's time, my industry is impacted by AI, or I do lose a client, that's okay, because you've got other income streams that are coming in to support you. So we don't have to follow the herd and do what everybody else is doing. I told you there was going to be some sheep in here. Right? We don't have to do that. We can stop and go, right, what's best for me here? What is going to enable me to continue to live the way that I like living long into the future, come what may? We don't have to be sheep. Which, yeah, oh my God, that was just a perfect slide to have been in there. Right, but an amazing quote that I love from Twain: whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. If you are going out to the same parties, you're spending the money, you're doing the upgrades, if you're going to Thailand and you aren't taking advantage of the delta between what it costs you to live there and the income you are earning from overseas, if you are not investing that money so that it makes money while you sleep, you are burning an incredible opportunity to set yourself up for the future. And not just to continue nomading, I'm talking about for your retirement, when you decide that you're done with this whole work shenanigans and you want to continue to generate income without having to work. Geographically free is kind of what we talked about in the intro, or James talked about it. So yes, you can travel around at the moment and you can go to these cool places and you can do all of this sort of good stuff. But are you immune financially? And so what we're seeing now, has everybody seen all the sort of tech layoffs that are happening? Has anybody been affected by a layoff at some point within their career? Hands up for me. Okay, cool. All right, so we've got a decent few there. Was that quite an unsettling time? Yeah, good. Yeah, okay, that's excellent. Now, put yourself in the digital nomad space. You've just been laid off, but let's say you've got some side income. Maybe you trade options because you've gone to Jan's lunch, and now you make a cheeky $5,000 a month. How less scary is that email from your boss saying, hey, you've just been laid off? Can you still live in Thailand where you currently are on $5,000? I would hope so. Jeez, if you can't live in Thailand on $5,000, how many smoothies are you eating, drinking in a day? What is going on? Okay, so those are the things. If we can build these on, and I'm going to take you through some of these in just a second, then an email like this, can everybody read that? Might be a bit too far away. Saying, hey, thanks very much for your support to our business, but we've decided we're going to go in a different direction. So we don't need your support anymore. We're not going to renew the contract, say goodbye to all that delicious cash that we've been previously paying you. So that's gone. How far after receiving that email, how much longer can you continue living your life unchanged? Have a think about that right now. If your one or two biggest clients sent you an email right now saying thanks but no thanks, how much does your life change in the next 30 days? Can you keep living the way that you want? Or who's moving back home to be with their parents? Sounds crazy, I know. 75-year-old dad, hey, can I move back in? My old room's still there, right? All right, so let's discuss how we can change some things, because everything around us is changing and it's ramping up, right? I think back to my old career, everything is different now. Back then, not back then, but even in your parents' and your grandparents' day, you'd go, you'd train, you'd become a butcher or a teacher or a scientist or whatever the case may be. You'd work for one company or maybe two, and that was your path to retirement. But that is completely different to what we need to be able to do now. We're going to be having multiple careers. You're going to have to pivot and adjust to things being removed from your skill set, essentially. You might be amazing at this particular job, and then AI, outsourcing, other influences come in and they remove the need for that, or they lower the cost basis so much that you can no longer stay competitive. So you now need to niche down or pivot away, and constant reinvention is the new superpower. If you cannot quickly learn something and learn how to apply that within a value chain, you are going to struggle in the economy that we're in, and more importantly, the economy that we're moving to. The application of learned information within a value chain is going to be critical to your success. And this is my favorite quote in the entire world, and it's by a guy called Albert Camus, and he says, the only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. And the way that I interpret that is the way you need to live your life according to what you want to be is going to grate against society. You are going to have to do things that are going to make people be like, what do you mean you don't want to work for a company here in Melbourne for the next 25 years in an office cubicle? That's crazy. Look at all the money you're getting paid. This is ridiculous. Why would you move to Panama and retire? That's madness. So you're going to be seen as somebody doing something different, something crazy, and society doesn't like that. The crazy is just starting. We're going to get a little bit crazier. Here is the advantage that every single one of you is blessed with. You have the power of geo arbitrage right now. And we all know what that is, so I won't beat that particular drum so much. But what I will talk to you about, in the very previous talk, you got told a way how to invest in the stock market and rapidly increase your return in a relatively safe way. Wicked. In one talk, right? Now what I want you to think about is, if you were to move and start planning your life as a digital nomad around geo arbitrage, not just with lifestyle in mind. Oh, I love spending the winters here and the summers here are amazing. Medellin's fantastic because it's always 25 degrees and I'm Casper the Ghost, so I don't have to worry about getting sunburned and all that sort of shenanigans. But if you started thinking to yourself, I need to accumulate X, that means I need to save Y. If I bring in these 3 places per year, not only do I get a good lifestyle, but I can start massively increasing my amount of investment capital or my business buying capital or my ability to hire staff to work me towards X. So don't just think about it as excellent. In this particular scenario, I can save $800 living in Sydney, or I can spend $2,500 in Chiang Mai. That means hotel upgrades, that means more activities, that means more smoothie bowls, that means all of these things. Or maybe it means more stocks. Maybe it means you move a step closer towards buying another business that's already operating, that's already spitting out profit for you. That's moving you towards X with the help of other people, employees pushing you towards X. And not because you've done anything crazy, you've just thought differently from the masses. And rather than letting lifestyle inflation eat away at that delta, the difference between where we are and how much we're being paid and the ability to save more money, you are using it towards something that is going to mean you are bulletproof come what may. If AI eats in and you're still able to save $2,500 a month, that's fantastic. Right? The same situation happened in New York, your life might be different. If you were still living in Sydney and you lost 2 of your biggest clients, your life could be epically different, especially when it probably costs about $17 for your organic Dove milk coffee there now, whatever it is. All right. There we go. I appreciate you. Okay, now, what I've been talking about thus far, and we won't go into a huge tax lesson because you will literally all be sleeping here, but all we've talked about now is the delta between cost of living and the savings rate. I haven't even factored in your ability to save on taxes. And I know that there's some Americans here and you're like, okay, but we're Americans, so we can't save on taxes because, you know, citizenship-based taxation is a real thing. But that's a lie. You just need to speak to the right person who can help you. Taxation is going to be, that and divorce, is going to be the biggest handbrake on your financial life ever. Think to yourself now, right now, think about how much money you make every single month. Wicked. Okay, now, imagine if you didn't have to pay 20, 30, 40, if you're from our Scandi countries, 50% tax every single month. Cry yourself to sleep over that shit, eh? It's enormous. It's enormous. Now imagine if you could combine geo-arbitrage with smart tax residencies. How quickly could you compound towards X now? How much quicker could you get to freedom? So if the client calls up and says, hey, Andy, I don't need you, you're too bald, we're going in a different direction. I can be, cool story, bro, I'm going hiking anyway, see you later. All of those sorts of cool things. All right, that hits your freedom number quicker, and all you're doing is moving 2 different things on a chessboard. You're going, I'm going to go to this place because it's nice and cheap and I love it, and there's great Instagram photos, the weather's good, and it just so turns out that the tax rate is amazing as well. Fantastic. We start stacking these things. Wicked. Okay, I'm not sure this is working. Okay, so if we're not using the delta that we have to consume more, and we start using it to invest more, then we start to build those things that make money while we sleep, the things that I keep harping on about to people. Whether that's because you're maxing out your Roth IRA, whether that's you're setting up your own brokerage accounts, whether that's you're using the money to build digital products or physical products so you can start a new business, whatever it is. But the idea here is we are bulletproofing ourselves so that